All right, folks, time to get some great information for today. As you can see, the Master Lock line is on fire in college basketball. On the other hand, nobody, I mean absolutely nobody, is winning more in any single sport than Joe Duffy's picks long term. And then when it comes to college basketball, wow, it's almost too scary. The incredible run that the Master Lock line has been on, literally the single greatest start ever. All at offshoreinsiders.com. All right, your free pick for tonight, it is to go with the Utah Jazz in New Orleans to go over the 216. Now, Utah has been a big under team, going under 9-5 by minus 4.9 points per game. That is, they're failing to reach the total by 4.9. They're going under by 4.9 points per game. Though New Orleans has gone over 7-6, the margin's actually minus 2.9. So when you have two cumulative under teams based on that margin of cover, it goes over, yes, over 775, 569, and 25. Now, I know you've won with this many, many times, and a lot of you might be saying, wait a minute, why is this not a premium pick? We've won with this tons and tons of times before. We did have an under angle that went opposite of it. It had to do with performance over the last 10 games. But when the two went head-to-head, it does go over at an 11-6 rate, which is a good winning percentage, but small enough sample size to keep it below the premium bet. Still, though, with a lot of intel behind it. Our two simulators have this going over. One has it going over 58.1%, and another has it going over 57.4% of simulations. So again, your free pick is to go with the Utah and New Orleans game to go over the total. Now, who have been the best teams to bet on this year in college basketball? This is in terms of margin of cover. At least 5 ATS games. Colgate is 4-2. They're covering by an average of 13.8. Now, I think by any standard, clearly the best team to bet on this year has been Drake. They're a perfect 11-0 and covering by the second best margin of cover in the country, 12.5 points per game, but with a sample size almost twice of the number one team. UC Riverside is 6-2-1 this year. We'll turn that spam call off. UC Riverside is 6-2-1 this year by an average of 9.5 points per game. Missouri State is 7-1 by an average of 8.5 points per game they're covering. Who have been the best teams to bet against? Boston University has yet to cover a game all year. They're failing to cover by a stunning average of 15.4 points per game. McNeese State 1-6-1, minus 11 points. Yeah, Duke. We know that Duke's had a disastrous year. No wonder Mike Krzyzewski doesn't want to play the season. 1-8, minus 10.1 points per game. Eastern Michigan 2-4 by minus 9.2. And Northern Illinois 2-10, failing to cover by an average of 8.6 points per game. We got a lot more great free information for you, and if you do like this information, we would appreciate if you would literally like it for us. And that'll help us. That's your way of telling the search engines we should really give more free information like this. Key injuries for tonight. LeBron James looks like he is probable, though far from definite for the LA Lakers. Also, Anthony Davis leaning towards probable. So we do think LeBron James and Anthony Davis will both play tonight. As far as line moves, because of the short NBA portfolio, no real line moves to speak of in the NBA, but we do have a few in college basketball. And yeah, I noticed that one. You know, I should probably come back and listen to my videos. I don't know if those, a few of you probably know, decided on the side to do a Atlanta restaurant podcast. Why don't you visit it at atlantagrubber.com, and we're on plenty of places, but I went and listened back to it, and I realized I do like to say but a lot, so I'm going to have to try to cut down on that. Anyway, USC open up as a 1-point favorite. They're now up to a 5.5-point favorite against Stanford. Penn State open up at -1. They're now +3 against Rutgers. So, yeah, Rutgers was the dog. They're now a 3-point favorite. Weber State open up as a 1-point underdog against Southern Utah, and they're minus. Weber State is now -2.5. By the way, when I walk the dog in the neighborhood, I notice apparently there's a Southern Utah alumnus in my beautiful neighborhood here in Roswell, Georgia. All right. Again, you want free information like this, please comment, give us a 5-star rating if you can. If you're listening on Stitcher or iTunes, wherever else you can do a rating. Another way to support these podcasts, please visit both Duffy Scents, that's in the fragrance, SCENTS.com, or Duffy Gifts. And I think you're going to find a lot of good stuff there to buy. Valentine's Day is coming up. Perfect for Valentine's Day. There's stuff for guys and girls. Duffy Scents and DuffyGifts.com.